Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make Kanye West sample beats inside of FL Studio. So let's hop into it. So firstly, you need a soul sample. And usually, the ones with the women vocals are better. So in the browser, you could hit shift to left click and jump around a sample. So I think this one has the right emotion. So what we're going to do is drag this into the playlist just like this. Let's go to song mode. And the first thing we need to do is just chop in time. So firstly, every record does not start on the downbeat. So we need to start counting the music. So it goes ta-ta-ta, 1, 2, like that. 1, 2. All right, now let's grab the slice tool. Now that we know where the downbeat is, let's hit Alt on our keyboard to do a nudge slice like this. If you're in older versions of FL, you have to hit Alt and Shift at the same time to do a vertical slice like that. And so this is basically our downbeat. Let's left click and drag the file to the left. Now from here, you can kind of tell if it's good or not based on the snare drum timing. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. I like the slice in 2-bar increments. It just makes everything easy. 3 and 4 and this is why I like drums in the sample, because now we have stem separators. We can really use the drums to help us with timing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. Now Kanye, depending on the record, he usually samples the vocal phrase that's most important. So we have to grab something out this record that says something. So let's grab it where it says stay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slice. Now notice when the volume kicks in, it's harder to tell where transients are. So this is why you have to count the music, because just looking at it is not going to tell you where stuff is. Now that we have all these slices, let's go to the pencil tool and let's click each sample that we just chopped and go to make unique as sample. And you could highlight it, hit shift down to move it down. What this is doing is basically saving each chop as its own file so that the FL Studio does not look at the entire song when you make edits. So we're just making each one of these a different file, basically is what's happening. So I'm gonna do this. It's tedious, but important for the process. All right, so everything that we chopped is a separate thing. Now, most people just loop this, which is fine. You could just time stretch and loop it, but that's not what we're doing today. We need to find an area or a sample that we want to chop. And then we're going to pitch it up using the Kanye technique. I kind of like this because we could loop this and it won't get tiring. So let's double click in this sample. Let's right click and open. And actually, I almost forgot a step. What am I doing? So before we do all that, we need to time stretch. It's super important that you time stretch the sample. If you don't time stretch the sample, Fruity Slicer has no information about tempo and it just slices based off of what it thinks. So to save time, what we're going to do is turn the metronome on, and let's go to the beginning. Remember, we sliced in 2-bar increments. Let's double click the sample, go to mode, stretch mode, right click the time knob and go to 2 bars. Now when we change the BPM, it will stay locked at 2 bars. So let's, pitch this down to 93, tune it down to 93 BPM. I feel like that's a natural BPM. So now what we need to do, we're not done yet. We need to right click and consolidate this track from track start. What this is going to do is embed the new BPM onto the sample. So the next step works properly. So if you double click in here, because we've added the BPM information, we can right click, open in Fruity Slicer. So without that BPM information, it's not going to work right. Okay. And you can change the BPM here, but there's no way for you guys to know. It's not a good way to know. Okay, but here it's set to 93. So we're going to slice by the beat Okay, and now I should be able to play. And then we can also mix it up like that. So we're not done. However, let's mute all this audio and let's just perform the chops. So the reason we're performing is because each chop ends at a certain point and we can actually create little tiny truncations in between. So I'm going to exaggerate. So you hear that difference in the timing. It was one C is a little gap. That's what we can create now when we play stuff by hand. So let's do this. All right, so we also have a different arrangement of chops when you play it by hand. Now we can go back and double click, hit Control A and quantize this stuff, which is Command Q. But we want to use Alt Q in this case and basically go back to our scores section, go to quantize and look for the default. This will just line up the beginning of the chops basically. But we still have the truncated gaps. So we're not done. If we go back into Fruity Slicer, click in here. The main secret for the Chipmunk sound is to pitch up the pitch shift. So let's pull this up 500 cents. And now if we turn the metronome on, it's locked into the metronome. All right, now some people do prefer the drums to be inside of the sample. Some people don't. So let me fix this little. Okay, so what we can do is re-render this as audio. So let's right click, consolidate track from track start. So what this is gonna do is allow us to use stem extraction. Now we have it as audio. We can go in the top left and extract stems from the sample, and we can remove the drums from the sample. All right, so basically now we should be left with just the instruments. And now we can add our drums without worrying about chops and timing and everything. All right, now in terms of performance, let's go to the channel rack. Let's send all these to the mixer. It seems like it's already done that for us. All right, so we don't have to do this, but in case you have to, go to channel rack, highlight the sounds that are making sounds, hit Control L, that will send stuff to the mixer. We're gonna group these samples in a blank mixer channel here called samples. And the reason is we wanna hit Control, left click and highlight all these tracks, right click and route to this track only. And let's say we want to add like a low pass filter. So let's go to the sample group, add an EQ, and then just chop out the highs. And then we can add more vocals that won't fight with their vocals. So we can right click the mix level here, create an automation clip. And basically with this off, it does nothing. And then with the on, it turns it on. So 100% is on, 0% is off. So it basically frees up room for the main vocal. Okay, so now we just need drums for this. So let's find some drums. It's probably best you chop up a drum break to get your drums, but see if I can find some one shots. If I can't find these one shots are like all over the place. So let's use some acoustic drums. Let's go to busyworksbeats.com. Let's pull up the drum kits from the blueprint kit. There's a kit called Box in here. Let's say Control L, send it to the mixer. And I'm just gonna draw the kick in. Normally I play it by hand, but we're gonna go kick, kick, kick. Very simple. But now we just need a what's called a snare rim to add the snare in here. So this could come from anywhere. I'm just gonna find a random rim shot. This one's a little aggressive. Something like this. Let's just turn it down. Let's get rid of the gap in here with the trim function. I might add reverb to the snare, I might not. Just depends. Now we could add hi-hats. So like we need more of like a shaker hi-hat for this track. Let's just right click and then use that time offset. And just turn the hi-hat down a little bit. So the only thing that doesn't feel cohesive is this hi-hat. So we got to find some kind of shaker. I think we just need more like a ch-ch-ch type sound. Let's see if we can find that. It's got a million samples, so here's some. Use something like this. There we go. Now it feels more cohesive with the sample. Let's also delay the snare a little bit. I feel like the snare needs a little reverb. So here I'm just customizing the sound. You guys don't have to copy every single step. Showing you guys how to just add a little more. Maybe let's add a plate verb in here. Let's do. So we're only adding reverb on the snare to drag it out. It just adds depth to that snare. Now on the sample, we can compress it a little bit just to take away some of the dynamics. Now at this point, there's no rules to what we're doing. We're just trying to pull the picture together. I clicked on the wrong compressor, but here's a good one. Now the cool thing is because everything's separated, I could actually run the reverb, the vocals through reverb that did not exist in the sample. So let's try that. That's the cool part about stem separation. And I can do stuff like, for example, delay this bass and process just this bass. So let's add a delay. It's a little more advanced as to what I'm doing. I'm basically taking the audio here and nudging it to the right using a delay so that it fits better with the groove. Do something here like widen out the bass with a fruity stereo shaper. Add a little delay. So now the bass is widened, but not the vocals or anything. let's run this through some analog gear just to see if we can get that final push. All right, so now we're logging into what's called Access Analog through their Analog Matrix plugin. Basically, you guys can go to busyworksbeats.com/access analog to learn more. It tells them you came from here. So here we're going to go to what's called the Magic Garden Rack, and I just love the tone of their tape saturator. Hopefully we don't run out of time on this set, but once it configures, we're going to use their compressor, their EQ, and their like harmonic saturator to see how much energy we could pull out of this track. Now, most people, they don't understand how far you can push your mix with analog gear and stuff like this. So they tend to overly produce, but sometimes you have to underproduce for analog. It's like the opposite. So this looks like it's configuring, and once it's done. So this compressor also is crazy. So I really love the harmonics of this compressor. It's just crazy. We could be a little more light-handed. Let's add a little EQ on the high end here. Let's see what else we can do for this mix. I don't think we need this Alicia compressor. Let's boost up at 60 hertz or so. We probably have too much 60 in this beat, but let's see what it sounds like. And then let's run through this tape emulator. So for this mix, trio doesn't make sense for this mix. Let's try the pentode. Gives you more of a metallic. Really makes that kick poke through. Let's try tape. Now this really opens up this track. So here's before. Here's after. Now let's run back through this compressor, see if we can get more tone out of it. This thing has so much harmonic content. I'm gonna take our 60 hertz boost off, only because for this track it's probably just too much low end. And the cool thing is we could still go back and turn down stuff. So like the vocals is a little too loud. We could go back and rebalance those drums. Let's hear from the beginning. So now we're just restoring some dynamics by boosting that kick above the beat. So I'm going to print this to audio so we can hear the difference here. All right, so now we have the session recorded into this, then we can bounce this. So basically now it's going to run it through the analog gear using the file from their servers, and it's processing the sound in real time. Now we can still rebalance things. I guess the point in showing you this software is because it takes a beat from sounding like this. A really rough mix. Firstly, it's just loud. Still clipping technically. So, and then it takes it to this. like you can feel the music, whereas before you're just hearing the music. And it all feels like it's just doing its own thing. But now with the saturation and all the analog stuff, that is the power of using stuff like analog matrix. So I'll give you guys the project files just so you can mess with this yourself. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. But that's the process on how to pitch up your samples like Kanye West is known for. All right, guys, peace. Subscribe if you're new. Go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio to download these project files. I'll leave a link below. Peace.